Oops, almost tripped. Backing up. Well, last night and yesterday I was thinking about all the jobs I've had, and I realized I left quite a few of them out. Some of them aren't jobs, but just stuff I did for money when I was younger. And I thought it'll be interesting to make kind of a part two. I went through the trouble of actually writing them all down this time, so I won't forget. So, let's get started. The cafe. Who can forget the cafe? Pretty much we sold drinks to the students during break. And we also, during the class, we would sell, do deliveries and stuff for the teachers. I did that 3 years out of my 4 years. And I was supposed to do it all 4 years, but the 4th year they messed up on my schedule like they always did. It seemed like every semester almost. And yeah, they put me in weight training, and by the time they said something, I was already in a group I liked and already spent like $15 on a locker, which was a lot of money for me back then. Yeah, I just said no. Anyways, I did, of course, my usual garbage picking. I've been doing that for several years, and you never really found anything worth selling, but you sure save money by finding stuff you could reuse. I found all kinds of stuff ranging from dishes to voltmeters ice voltmeters, and computers, monitors, TVs. I was able to resell some of it, but most of it is just hang on to it and use as needed instead of buying it. Oh, I wrote down something and I don't understand what I wrote. Like the dump. Oh yeah, who can forget the dump? That was actually kind of profitable. It seemed like every time I went there to take used motor oil in, or just take scrap metal in. The closest scrap yard's like 30 miles away. It's not really profitable, especially with the scrap prices as low as they are right now. So, but every time I went there, I found heavy-duty, nice winch bumpers. People were just throwing it away. I got like $250 for that. It was from like a Dodge truck. And just various other odds and ends. I found nice, higher-end computers that needed something real, simple and basic, like a power supply. And the computers I was finding there were actually better than the ones I had. So that's how I upgraded my first computer from like a Pentium 166 to like a, I don't even remember, it was like a quad core or something like that. I don't really remember, but it was a decent, nicer computer than I had. I was able to sell some of them, and I was able to give some of them away to family members, and found nicer, well, I guess nowadays, all the monitors are flat screen, but at the time I was finding like 19-inch flat screen monitors that, makes me feel old saying that, but computer stuff outdates so fast. And I just did little odds and ends here and there too. I still needed something taken to the dump. I had a truck, and before I had my truck, I had one of those little utility trailers, those light duty ones, in my Jeep. The first thing I did to my Jeep when I got it was I put a trailer hitch on it. I bought it off an old YJ. I think it was like a 94 or something like that. So, I just did little things here and there. And I had for, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so, I worked at a thrift store, just volunteer, and I got first dibs at the stuff that came in, and it didn't cost me anything. And I was able to resell some of that. That's where this jacket came from. So, anyways, and for a little while I bought and sold cars even. I would buy them broken and fix them up and resell them for a small profit, but I just don't like selling cars. It's just such a hassle. So I just after a while, it's just like, this isn't worth it. I mean, I really don't like selling cars. It's fun buying them and fixing them up, but selling them is just such a hassle. You get no shows and all that boring stuff. And I had this next job my dad actually got for me, and it was probably the worst job I ever had. The job was described as a mechanic's helper. Okay, sounds good. Pays, I think it was $12 an hour. So back then it was a decent pay for me. Even now it's still good. And it was advertised that I would do oil changes and help with doing head gaskets and so on and so on. But what the job really was I would pull weeds and clean up his dog poop in his yard, pick apples from his apple tree, trim bushes. I mean, yeah, I did do some mechanics helper stuff. Like I would go and pick up these big buckets of motor oil for him and take like cylinder heads in to get pressure tested, and just take scrap metal to the local transfer station. But that was about it. I mean, it was just a real shitty job, and the guy was just a little dick. And if I asked him for how he wants something done, he would totally snap at me. It was just, and I got to the point where I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I hate this place, and I'm just gonna quit. So I told him I was gonna quit, and he said, "Oh, you're a funny guy," or he said something like, "You're a funny guy, and get back to work." And I was dumb enough to actually just go back to work. I should have said I quit and just leave. But and I actually got fired from that job, and it's probably the best thing that ever happened because, like I said, I wanted out. And what happened was, he went on vacation. He told me to come by a couple days a week and water his plants and do little things here and there. So I water those plants and do little things here and there. And I didn't turn off the hose. I had a little spray nozzle on it, and I figured, oh, well, it's not gonna run off the nozzle until where the hose blew. And he totally flipped out on me, and he flipped out on me right in front of the new guy he hired to replace me. And he didn't have to take it an extra notch, but whatever. And of course I have my Google AdSense. I've been doing that for a couple years now, and I don't get paid a whole lot anymore like I used to, but at one point in time I was making a couple $100 every couple months, but now it's not very much anymore. And about the time I stopped making my videos, it's about the time I put my payments on hold. So right now I have like $470 on hold. I mean, I'm just saving it for a rainy day, but maybe if I post more videos again, I'll get paid more. But it's not why I'm posting more. I'm just doing it because I want to. Oh, I wrote down fence, and I don't know what I meant by that. So, scrap metal. Me and my brother, when scrap prices were high, we used to fill up my dad's 93 GMC Sierra, and we used to take it all in, and we used to get paid. It used to be at least $200 a load, and we took all kinds of stuff in. And this is all garbage pick stuff. I mean, it was really profitable. It's probably the most profitable thing we ever did. So, but since then, the prices have gone down, and the scrapyard's too far away, and it's just not worth it anymore. So, yard work. I actually did yard work, believe it or not, as much as I hated doing it. Sometimes my brother and my friend, they usually work together, but sometimes if it was a really big project, they'll ask me to help them. And yeah, I did a couple jobs at hand, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jobs, not a whole lot of them. And it didn't really pay a whole lot. I only did it because they asked me to help them. So, and firewood. When I first got my license, my brother asked me to help him do firewood. So I got my Jeep Wrangler, and I had my little utility trailer that we nicknamed Goldie, that I eventually killed because I overloaded it so many times. And we would sell firewood. We'll chop down trees from this one guy at Border Creek that we had permission to chop down his, what was it, pine trees? I think it was pine. Well, yeah, we split it down the property, and then there's this one place over in the next town over that would buy the firewood so he can resell it. And we did that for probably it wasn't a year-round job, but it was, definitely seasonal. So, and oh yeah, I forgot. I looked right over one. There used to be a junk pile at the bottom of the hill. It's not there anymore. Well, it is there anymore, but they've since put signs saying don't take stuff from there. It used to be they're totally chill with it, and I found all kinds of stuff there I could resell. I mean, it was about a mile away, so I walked down there. Sometimes I took my wagon with me, and I found really big model houses that I was able to resell for like $75. And I found PlayStation 2s, which at the time were, the PlayStation that was out, and they didn't work, but I took them all apart and, repaired them. So, that was a little bit of money there, and just various other odds and ends. That's where I found a bunch of the scrap metal we took in. I just go down there and throw away, automatic transmission, so I'll take all of those apart and separate the metal out and all that. Get the aluminum separated, but one day they were totally fine with it, but then one day they weren't fine with it, so I stopped doing that. And as for the dump used to be, they posted signs saying no scavenging, but at the same time, that was something everyone did, so I kind of did it too. And then one day they weren't fine with it, and they'll snap at you, and they still will snap at you. This metal recycling company kind of partnered up with the transfer station, and now, they're really picky about, oh, this is our metal, these are our TVs, and because they all go to this metal recycling company, and they get, a lot more money than they used to. So, the cafe. That was actually a fun class, and I do miss it. What's funny though is, I was Facebooking the teacher that runs that class at the beginning of the school year, and she told me to come by and visit, and maybe she'll talk to me about working in there again. Of course, it'll be volunteer. Yeah, that's something I've thought about, but, I'm thinking that maybe I won't do it because, I really do miss school. I miss it almost every day, especially high school. Best 4 years of my life, but, I miss it, and I don't really want to add to that miss, so. But although I do need to visit, though. I used to visit all the time, and then just don't do it anymore. And that's a cafe, garbage picking, dump, junk pile, stuff here and there, bought and sold cars, Alex and AdSense. Now I wonder what I meant by when I wrote fence. Thrift store, yard work, and firewood. I think that's it. So, oh yeah, one thing I didn't write down is for a little while people actually asked me to fix stuff on their cars. I never asked to do something that was over my head, just something like a bad starter or a bad alternator. And I always worked real cheap. And just basic stuff right there. And I sold car parts, and I used to sell tires. I used to go down and scavenge tires from the dump also, and used to resell those. I'll inspect them, make sure they were safe, but, that's about it, though. So, over and out, and I'll talk to you next time.